Be honest. How many times have you checked your phone today, just to see if someone liked, shared, or commented on something you posted? How often do you reread a message you sent, waiting for a reply? How many moments have you judged by how others reacted, instead of how they felt to you? Now let me ask the uncomfortable question. Are we all addicted to validation? Let's unpack that, one layer at a time. 1. The hidden hunger. Humans are social creatures. We evolved in tribes where belonging was survival. If you were cast out, you didn't just lose connection, you lost protection. So our nervous systems became wired to seek approval. We read facial expressions. We track tone. We adjust to be liked. Fast forward thousands of years, and now we still crave belonging. Only instead of tribal elders, we're chasing hearts, thumbs, and algorithmic applause. And let's be clear, validation isn't inherently bad. We all want to be seen. We all want to feel like we matter. We all want to be told, "You're doing okay." The problem starts when that external approval becomes your internal compass. When the likes become your lifeline. That's not connection. That's dependency. 2. Dopamine, devices, and the digital trap. Let's talk brain chemistry. Every time you get a like, comment, or follower, your brain releases a little shot of dopamine. It feels good. It's the same chemical involved in reward, addiction, even drug use. And tech companies know this. They've built entire systems to keep you chasing dopamine. Variable reward schedules. Push notifications. Endless scroll. You're not weak. You're being engineered. But the problem goes deeper. Because the more we chase this digital validation, the less resilient we become in real life. Criticism feels unbearable. Silence feels like rejection. We start editing not just photos, but personalities. We become who we think they want us to be. 3. Validation versus self-worth. Let's make an important distinction. Validation is the recognition you get from others. Self-worth is the recognition you give yourself. In a healthy person, validation supports self-worth. It feels good, but it's not essential. But in a wounded system, validation replaces self-worth. Without praise, you feel invisible. Without approval, you feel broken. Without applause, you question your right to exist. That's not self-esteem. That's self-erasure. 4. Where it starts. Childhood echoes. Most validation addiction doesn't start with phones. It starts with parents. If love was conditional, only if you behave, only if you achieve, you learned early that attention is earned, not given. You learned that your feelings were too much. That your truth made others uncomfortable. So you adapted. You became pleasing. You became perfect. You became what others needed, not who you actually were. That's not personality. That's survival. 5. People-pleasing as a coping mechanism. Many validation addicts are people-pleasers. They say yes when they mean no. They avoid conflict like it's deadly. They smile even when they're hurting. Why? Because rejection feels like annihilation. And the tragedy is, they lose themselves trying to keep everyone else comfortable. But here's the twist. People-pleasing isn't kindness. It's self-abandonment. And over time, the cost is massive. You stop knowing what you actually want. What you actually believe. What you actually need. You're surrounded by approval, and still feel completely alone. 6. Modern metrics of worth. Let's talk numbers. Follower counts. View totals. Reactions. Reach. Engagement. We've reduced identity to analytics. Even therapy culture isn't immune. Are you healing fast enough? Did you do your inner work today? Are you growing better than them? We compare even our healing journeys, and we wonder why nothing feels real. Validation isn't just on social media. It's in relationships. at work, in how we dress, speak, or perform. And the worst part? We stop asking, do I like this? And only ask, do they like me? 7. The cost of constant approval. Let's be honest, validation feels amazing. Until it doesn't. Because what happens when the likes stop? What happens when no one's watching? What happens when your truth isn't trendy? You panic. You doubt. You twist yourself into something more acceptable. And little by little, you lose your authenticity, your edge, your voice. You become a brand, instead of a being. That's the cost. 8. Signs you might be addicted to validation. Let's list some signs. You constantly check how others are reacting to you. You struggle to make decisions without input. You over-explain yourself to avoid disapproval. You feel anxious when you're not acknowledged. You post things primarily to get attention or praise. You change your behavior depending on who you're with. You feel lost when you're alone with yourself. If even a few of these hit, you're not broken. You're human. You've just been trained to believe that external feedback equals internal worth. But it doesn't have to stay that way. 9. How to break the cycle. Let's talk healing. Breaking validation addiction isn't about becoming a monk or quitting social media. It's about reclaiming your internal compass. It's asking, what do I believe? What do I value? What do I want, even if no one claps? It's learning to sit in silence, without needing to be seen. It's feeling rejection, and not collapsing. It's knowing, I might not be for everyone, but I'm still enough. That's what freedom feels like. 10. The power of being unliked. Here's the truth. If everyone likes you, you're probably not being real. Because realness is polarizing. Honesty is inconvenient. And authenticity doesn't always go viral. But you don't need to be liked by everyone. You just need to be true to yourself. Likes fade. Trends shift. But self-respect, that lasts. So, are we all addicted to validation? Maybe not all. But many. Far more than we'd like to admit. And that's okay. Awareness is the first step. Because once you name the pattern, you can unlearn it. You can build a self-worth that doesn't wobble every time someone disapproves. You can create not for praise, but for truth. You can rest without permission. Speak without apology. And live without constantly asking, am I enough? The answer is yes. You always were. But you'll never feel it, until you stop outsourcing your worth. If this made you think, you're not alone. And you're not weak for wanting to be seen. But you're also allowed to stop performing. Subscribe to Pick 2 Peak for more brutally honest insights into the mind. Pick 2 Peak. Not just pick me, but pick your mind.